Damn, mister, you're strong.
It's ma'am to you. Thump.
The survival duo known as Joel and Ellie, who have relentlessly killed everyone who opposed them in the first game, end up getting killed by a SJW steroid abusing female who somehow ends up getting a gender reassignment surgery and access to hormones in a zombie apocalypse. The characters that we do care about, like Joel, survived getting shot, fighting clickers, being impaled and subsequently getting infected, only to be clubbed to death with a golf club by a dude/chick. Joel and Tommy, who were previously hunters might I add, all of a sudden introduced themselves and even worse, help an unknown person, which would end up being the roided up, empowered edgelord Abby Zilla, who they just met. Joel doesn't do anything honourable like sacrifice himself for the greater good or save Ellie. He gets completely humiliated by a roid-raged ma'am with a golf club. Joel dies within 2 hours, and you have to play the rest of the game as a roided up mongoloid that nobody cares about. How does this dude/chick Abby getting access to doses of testosterone and growth hormone 20 years into a zombie apocalypse after the world has already collapsed? The Last of Us 2 is gonna sink harder than Joel's face after getting that people's elbow from She-Man herself, Senator Abby Strong. And speaking of that freak, that dude/chick should have used a driver and not a putter. People dislike the man-beast Abby, not because she's trans, but because she's unrelatable and basically impossible to ever empathize with. I'd still hate her if she was a man. I'd still hate her if she was a woman with huge tits. It doesn't matter how she looks. I just dislike her because she's a terrible written character. Let's suspend our disbelief that this trans person showing up in what's essentially a post-apocalyptic world where most medical resources, scarce as they are supposed to be geared towards survival and not sex changes or hormonal drugs. So whether you are a he, she, or even both like Senator Abby Strong, they got you covered. And speaking of Abby Strong, what an incredibly deep story The Last of Us 2 is. We have a Neanderthal brutalizing a petite schoolgirl and humiliating one of the most beloved characters from the first game with a golf club. Such masterful storytelling, all because of that damn surgeon and his roided up son, who once you've committed those disgusting acts, you apparently get to play as. Isn't that splendid? Cuckman's reasoning for Joel's death can be summed up like this. Joel man retard, Joel man bad, Abby Zilla good. Abby will haunt your nightmares and beat you over the head and make you a Joel in one while flexing and screaming. Macho man swopocalypse Abby savage cave Joel's head in with a golf club swing that even Tiger Woods himself would be proud of. There's a video leak where we are forced to watch Druckmann's character have sex with She-Hulk herself, Abby Strong. And speaking of She-Hulk, the whole setup for Abby's motivations doesn't work because we as a player never felt bad for killing that random NPC doctor in the first game. When I first looked at Abby, I thought this was a Gears of War character. I thought it was Marcus Phoenix's super swole big brother in the next rated M for Ma'am Gears game. But unfortunately not. It's the main character of The Last of Us Part 2 that you have to control for the majority of the game. Aren't you excited? If you want to play as a roided up Greta Thunberg to smash your favourite characters into oblivion, that's on you. So the ending is a final fight between Ellie and Cuckman's favourite character, Abby Zilla. When she has the chance to finally kill She-Hulk, she spares her instead. This is all from the new video leaks that dropped last night, so Ellie finds Abby Zilla on a quote, pillar at the very end of the game. Ellie helps her down and they end up fighting in the water. Let's also suspend our disbelief that a woman who's been left emaciated on a crucifixion post for days, who looks like she's about to die to the point where she's lost all of her roided up muscle gains, is somehow able to immediately pin down another person. After Ellie spares Abby Zilla, there's a cutscene where she goes home. She's all alone and all that's left is the guitar that Joel gave her. Except she realizes she can't play the guitar anymore because She-Hulk bit her fingers off. They could have at least given you a choice as a player where you do get the chance to kill that Shrek-looking freak. I'm not gonna lie, I wonder if there's a quick time event where you press X to thrust, circle to pull out, press triangle to swing a golf club because Abby Zilla has more hobbies than just golf apparently. The character of Abby can't be a chick. She has a man's body with a woman's head and voice. If that really is a woman, that's the manliest woman in any video game. I'm actually curious how she built a physique of a man and managed to find a breast reduction doctor in the apocalypse. Because if you watch this scene, she takes off her bra, but there's literally nothing there. I mean, she has pecs that Mr. Olympia would be proud of. If she stepped on stage, she'd at least take second place minimum. But this solidifies that Abby Zilla, or She-Hulk as I affectionately call him or her, is the true winner of The Last of Us 2. Since Ellie loses Joel, she loses Dina, she loses 2 fingers, meanwhile Abby gets revenge and takes it in the bar. Abby Zilla took it from behind from Neil Tranny Fuckman Cuckman himself. That sex scene, if we can just talk about it again, was just horrific. In fact, I think I woke up this morning as a depressed, fingerless lesbian. And if you don't ring my notification bell, you will have nightmares of a roided up Abby Zilla chasing you with a golf club while screaming, "Fuck me in the butt, ma'am." IGN can take it up the arse, Abby style. No lube, man on man thrusting, just like how Neil I sit when I pee Druckmann likes it. Neil a hole is a hole tuckman. I call him that because his manhood is tucked between his legs, just like the female Geodude Abby Zilla. Neil Skunkman didn't even have the decency to give good old Abby Zilla the reach around in that spicy scene. When I grow up, I just want to be as jacked and as strong as Abby Zilla in The Last of Us 2, a Cuckman story. Looks-wise, she's uglier than Jabba the Hutt. We should actually start calling her Jabby the Hutt. I actually want to make a correction from one of the previous videos I made. Neil Cuckman mocapped as both the characters in that weird scene with 2 dudes boning. Mr. Neil Cuckman, the man who clapped Triple H's cheeks in The Last of Us 2 No Lube Edition, the fastest selling, lowest rated game ever made. If you're unaware, the DLC will be Abby searching for more testosterone so she can finally become her final form of Macho Man Abby Savage. The Last of Us Part 2 sales are plummeting faster than Abby's estrogen count, and for that reason, I'm gonna call it The Last of the Prophet. The Last of Us 2 could have been redeemed in one way in my eyes, and that way is if they added a scene of Stone Cold Abby Zilla clapping the life out of Ellie's cheeks. So you're telling me that The Last of Us 2 reviews are as fake as Abby's chesticles, as fake as Abby's titties? The main character of Ghost of Tsushima gets killed in the first 2 hours by a transgender LGBTQ samurai. And how does it happen? Well, he gets beaten to death with a bag of rice. And then you're forced to play as that trans samurai who waves his dick around like a katana for the next 10 hours. Do you know what does matter to Sony? Is that refunds and second-hand copies are flying off the shelves faster than Joel getting his skull blown out by its ma'am herself, Abby Zilla. The ma'am fears the samurai. The ghost disembowels Abby Zilla. The large bodybuilding gorilla brought a golf club to a shinobi fight. And for that, she can deep throat a sushi mama katana. You have the power of Mannix flowing through your veins the same way Abby Zilla has thousands of testosterone vials running through hers. Imagine simping for Abby Zilla. Jesus fucking Christ. And speaking of Abby Zilla, yes, Abby Zilla is a Geodude looking hairless gorilla. There, I said it. There's literally an old geezer in my boxing gym that looks exactly like Macho Man Abby Zilla. It's not a fucking hot take. Can someone tell Sauron that one of his orcs has conquered the galaxy? Laugh all you want, but this brute is way more beloved than that steroid abusing, dry dick in the arse Macho Man Abby Zilla. I know how Abby got so jacked. Macho Man Abby Zilla got so jacked by sucking in all the testosterone from all of the dudes around her straight from her arsehole. The skip cinematic of Us Part 2 is plummeting faster than Abby Zilla's non-existent estrogen count. This is what happens when you bait and switch your customers. When people went in expecting a continuation of Joel and Ellie's relationship, you know, the heart of the franchise, we got a roided up ma'am instead. Neil Druckmann had the unmitigated gall to say, we should not sexualize women while also self-inserting himself in a scene where his character does it doggy style with Brockette Lesnar. Our good old friend Abby Zilla is getting throated by a pansexual sponge because SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom has a 9.0 user score. This does put a smile on my face, but what doesn't put a smile on my face though is my PTSD from watching Brockette Lesnar, the man lady, getting slammed from behind by Bravo 6 going in dry Neil Sucks men. They literally took Ronda Rousey's head and put it on Vin Diesel's body. Whenever I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, I just pretend every enemy is Abby Zilla aka Triple H. No doubt that the Last of Us 2 fans are gonna be mad for the rest of 2020. You know what? Let them chug on some post-apocalyptic whey protein shakes like their idol Abby Zilla. Is that a man? No. Is it a woman? Definitely not. It's a man, baby. It's the macho man, Abby Zilla in disguise, to be exact. Whoever this dude is you put in the trailer, he makes Abby Zilla look fuckable. Why not add a multiplayer mode called Abbynator, where Abby Zilla roams the map, insta-golf clubbing everything that moves full of roid rage, and that the opposing players must band up together and kill her. But the plot twist is the game mode is rigged and she can't be killed. What you should have done is add a scene of Neil Cuckman signing up to a lifetime membership for Anita Sarkeesian's OnlyFans page. That is a better love story than Bravo 6 going in dry inside Abby Zilla. Neil Druckmann is currently wailing hysterically, shakier than a leaf, hugging his Abby Zilla pillow oh so tightly. The police officers in the United States do not need to use tear gas on protesters. All they need is a 4K image of Druckmann, Bravo 6 going in dry, raw dogging Abby Zilla, plastered on their riot shields. That would do the trick. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching Mannix out.